with life, finances, the children, the husband or wife, I don't know what you're into, whatever it is, the physical problems, your back pain, I don't care, write it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome to Well and Worthy with Nye. I'm Nylita. Hi, hey, hello. Today's question comes from Sarah. She says, "Dear Nye," that's me. "Lately, I've been feeling so lost and disconnected from myself. I spent so much time focusing on my job, my relationships, and just trying to keep up with life that I've completely neglected my own well-being. I know I need to make some changes, but to be honest, I'm scared of facing the harsh truths about my life." Can we relate? "I admire how straightforward you are, even when the truth isn't easy to hear. But I'm worried that if I start digging too deep, I'll end up feeling even more overwhelmed. So I wanted to ask," here's the question, guys, "how can I start improving my well-being and rediscovering my self-worth without getting overwhelmed by it? Where do I even begin when it feels like there's so much to work on? Much love, Sarah." Thank you, Sarah. I love this question and I really appreciate the vulnerability that you just shared with us here. There are a few things that can be done, and I have broken this down into 5 simple steps. Numero one, not numero one. It's warm in my room, you know. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need to do, Sarah, is open up a notebook and brain dump. You need to write out every single thing that is in your mind, that is stressing you out, that is worrying you, that is a big concern. Every single thing that you're feeling overwhelmed with, life, finances, the children, the husband or wife, I don't know what you're into, whatever it is, the physical problems, your back pain, I don't care, write it all down. Write down to the micro, like I need to get my nails done tomorrow. Write all of it down. Okay, so that is the first thing. You're going to brain dump. The reason that brain dumps are really important is because we fester a lot in our minds. So we will think about the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So you'll wake up tomorrow with 70% of the same problems and thoughts you had the day before, and then you'll do the exact same thing tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. So what you want to do is you want to get rid of that thought process basically by completely just dumping it all onto a piece of paper. So that's the first thing you're going to do, Sarah. You're going to brain dump. Okay. The second thing that you're going to do is prioritize. So from that list, what needs to be first? What is your priority? What needs to go before anything else? So what goes first? What goes second? What goes third? What is last? And what can you delegate? So what can you give to someone else? What can you hire someone to do? So if it's school pickups with the kids, do you want to hire someone to do that for you? Or is that more important than grocery shopping, which you can do online and you can get delivered to your house, or you can hire someone to assist you with those things if you have the finances for that? If not, can you jump onto Fiverr if it's something to do with your business and get someone to do your graphic designs for £20 or whatever it is? Can you lean on a cousin? Can you get your sister involved? Can you get a friend involved? Is there anything that you can give to someone else that will not make you stress because you're like, oh my God, it's not being done the way I want it to be done? You're going to have to let some things go. So what can you prioritize? Okay, what goes first? What goes second? What goes third? What is last? And then what can you delegate? So that is the second thing you're going to do. The third thing you're going to do is schedule everything in your diary. So I've got my laptop here with all my notes. So if you ever see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at that. Schedule everything in your diary and start making lists. Oh my God, I love a list. Okay, let's just pause for 2 seconds. Everyone needs to make lists, okay? If you're not, lists are lists. Something about that word. Sorry. Lists are like mini brain dumps for me. Because although I'm not like, oh my God, I need to get my toes done, I need to get waxed, I need to do this, like it's not that in depth, but it is like these are the priorities. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have at least 3 things on that list that need to be done each day. Lists are powerful, and you feel hella accomplished when you've done your list at the end of the day. So get yourself on some lists and make sure that you're scheduling everything in your diary. So if on the 4th you need to take Timmy to his basketball game, make sure you put that in your diary. Don't try and be like, oh, I can remember. I remember everything. Shut up. No, you don't. Okay? So put it in. So aggressive. Put it down in your diary. I don't care what diary you use. If it's Google, if it's Notion, I don't care. Put it in your diary. And then that way you're going to be able to make sure that you stay on top of things, so you're not trying to juggle everything. That's one thing that I used to do a lot, that really, I get overwhelmed very easily. So I can definitely relate to this, Sarah. But I was overwhelmed 24/7, and it's because I was always trying to remember, okay, make sure you file your taxes, and make sure that you do this, and oh, you have to register the business name, and oh, you've got an event coming up, and oh yeah, you've also got to meet with that person at 4:00, and oh, you've got a podcast recording, and I'm trying to remember all of these things, as opposed to having a clear and concise list, having a clear and concise schedule to follow. So that leads me on to my next thing, which is schedule in check-ins. Okay, and these check-ins can be with a coach, it can be with a friend, it can be with a family member, it can be with a therapist, but some sort of check-in to make sure that your mental well-being is being cared for, and it's being loved, and it's being respected. Okay, so that is the purpose of check-ins. Check-ins are an opportunity for you to sit down and ask yourself questions that you wouldn't usually ask yourself on a day-to-day basis. So a lot of the time, people kind of just breeze through life. We don't really ask ourselves deep questions unless we're like in a shit and we're like, oh gosh, now I should sit down and talk about this. But you want to try and catch it before it gets to that phase anyway. So that is one thing I will definitely say, is make sure that you're having conversations that are deep, that are personal, that are a bit uncomfortable, with someone that you trust, someone that you feel safe with. And then that way you'll be able to continuously have mental check-ins. And then that's going to lead me to my next part, because that's your mental well-being. Now we're going to focus on your physical, which is your step 5, and that is to move your body. So a lot of the time what happens with people is our emotions get trapped in our body. We get kind of stuck and stagnant. So if you ever feel like you've got back pains where you're like, I feel like I've been doing fine, I don't know where it's come from, maybe it's because you're stressed about your family, or you've got lower back pains, or your knees have been hurting, or you've got that constant pounding headache that won't go away and the doctor says you're fine. Maybe it's because you're holding trapped emotions in your body. So I found that moving my body, physical activity, exercise, dancing, tennis, I don't care what it is, moving your body is so important. If you go for a walk, make sure it's a minimum of 1 hour. Don't try to be out here, I'm going to go walk to the shop and come back. Doesn't count, babe. You need to be in nature, exploring the world, moving your body for a minimum of 1 hour. Okay, if it's like low intensity, like walking. If it's high intensity, like jogging, you can do like 20 minutes. But it's just about moving your body, get your heart rate going. And not only are you getting the physical benefits, but you're also getting the mental ones as well. So there's a lot of links between serotonin and dopamine and norepinephrine levels in the body. And the monoamine hypothesis was really, really very clearly states that it's a hypothesis that was coined years ago. And it's essentially stating that if you have low monoamine deficiency, which is like the monoamine chain is norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine. I think there's a few others in there, but those are the ones that I mainly remember. If they are low, it's because of lack of exposure to sunlight, lack of nutrition, or poor nutrition, so I say, lack of exercise, lack of social life, positive social life. So all of those things that add towards it, when those levels drop, things like depression, anxiety, which links very quickly to overwhelm. There's a whole load. I could do a whole episode on monoamine deficiency hypothesis, just based on the research that I've been going through. But it's powerful once you understand how everything is connected. So one thing I will say is move your body. Okay, so quick recap. Open a notebook and brain dump. That is your step 1. Step 2, prioritize. What is important? What goes first? What is second? What is third? And what can you delegate? Step 3 is schedule everything into your diary. Okay, and make sure you're making lists. Step 4 is to have check-ins with a friend, a coach, a therapist, or by yourself. Doesn't matter. However you do it, it's completely up to you. And then step 5 is to move your body, get some sort of physical activity going into your life on a consistent basis, not like once every 6 years. I'm talking about weekly, daily, even better. Okay, so those are the things that you want to be doing to hopefully overcome this overwhelm that you're going through, Sarah. But yeah, I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, please send it to imwellandworthy@gmail.com. Okay, that's imwellandworthy@gmail.com. It'll come up somewhere on the screen, hopefully here. And I hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, besitos.